are not stuck, you are not unlucky, and you are definitely not powerless. You have just been creating the wrong reality without even realizing it. You have been told your entire life that your circumstances define you, that where you were born, what you have, what you lack, and what happens to you determines your future. But what if that is the biggest lie you were ever taught? What if I told you that your reality is not something you live in, it is something you create? Right now, look around you. Everything you see, your situation, your results, your struggles, your progress, it all began somewhere deeper. It began in your mind. Your thoughts are not random, your beliefs are not harmless, and your mindset is not just thinking, it is creation in progress. Every single day, whether you realize it or not, you are shaping your future, not with your hands first, but with your thoughts. Most people never understand this. They wake up, react to life, complain about problems, blame others, and wait for change. But nothing changes. Why? Because they are trying to change the outside world without ever touching the inside world. And that is why they stay stuck. You see, reality doesn't start in the physical, it starts in the invisible. Before money shows up in your life, it shows up in your mindset. Before success appears in your world, it appears in your belief system. Before confidence is seen, it is built internally. Everything you want is created twice, first in your mind, then in your life. But here's the problem. Most people are creating the wrong reality. They think about fear, they focus on lack, they expect failure, they believe they're not enough, and then they wonder why life keeps proving them right. Listen carefully. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you plant doubt, you will grow hesitation. If you plant fear, you will grow limitations. If you plant belief, you will grow power. If you plant vision, you will grow success. The choice has always been yours, but no one told you that. You were taught to look outside, to wait for opportunity, to depend on luck, to follow the crowd. But the truth is this, you don't find your future, you build it. And you build it from the inside out. Let me ask you something. How do you see yourself? Not how others see you, not what people say about you, but deep inside, who do you believe you are? Because that identity is silently controlling your life. If you see yourself as weak, you will act weak. If you see yourself as unlucky, you will expect bad outcomes. If you see yourself as average, you will live an average life. But if you decide, truly decide, that you are powerful, capable, and meant for more, everything begins to shift. Not overnight, but inevitably. Because your actions follow your identity, and your identity is built by your thoughts. This is where your power lies, not in money, not in connections, not in circumstances, but in your ability to choose your thoughts. That is your real power. And once you take control of that, you stop being a victim of life, you become the creator of it. Now understand this clearly. This does not mean life will become easy. This does not mean you won't face problems. This does not mean everything will go your way instantly. No, but it means something far more powerful. It means that no matter what happens, you remain in control of how you respond. You remain in control of what you believe. You remain in control of what you create next. And that changes everything. Because successful people are not people with no problems. They are people who think differently about their problems. Where others see obstacles, they see opportunities. Where others see failure, they see feedback. Where others quit, they adjust and continue. Why? Because they understand one truth. Reality responds to mindset. If you think like a victim, life will feel like a struggle. If you think like a creator, life becomes a canvas. So what are you creating right now? Look at your daily thoughts. Are they building your future or destroying it? Are you speaking power into your life or repeating limitation? Are you focusing on what you want or obsessing over what you fear?
because whatever dominates your mind will eventually dominate your life. This is not motivation, this is law. And once you understand this law, you can never go back to living unconsciously. From this moment forward, you must become intentional. Intentional with your thoughts, intentional with your words, intentional with your actions. Because every thought is a seed, and every seed will grow. So start planting wisely. Start thinking bigger. Start believing differently. Start seeing yourself not as you are now, but as who you are becoming. Visualize your future. See it clearly. Feel it deeply. Live it mentally before it becomes physical. Because your mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. And what you repeatedly imagine, you begin to believe. And what you believe, you begin to act on. And what you act on becomes your life. This is the process. This is how creators think. They don't wait for proof, they create it. They don't wait for confidence, they build it. They don't wait for the right time, they decide and make the time right. So if you are waiting, stop. If you are doubting, challenge it. If you are afraid, move anyway. Because the version of you that you want to become is waiting on the decisions you are avoiding. You are not stuck. You are not behind. You are not limited. You are simply creating from old patterns. And the moment you change those patterns, your life begins to change. Slowly at first, then suddenly. And one day, you will look around and realize this life you are living was once just a thought in your mind. That is your power. That is your responsibility. And that is your opportunity. So from this moment on, decide who you are. Decide what you want. Decide what you will no longer tolerate. And then start creating. Because whether you realize it or not, you have always been the creator of your reality. Now it's time to create something extraordinary.